Welcome to the Crowdfunding Bangers Awards for 2023, the best and worst of Kickstarter and Gamefound board games. So let's go check these out. Now firstly, let's just get into my top 4 most anticipated games leading into this year. And the first one was Andromeda's Edge. Follow-up to Dwellings of Eldervale. Luke Laurie, he had me intrigued. We're now going into the space world and look, lots of great stuff there. So I was absolutely fascinated for this campaign. It's one of the early ones in the year, it was February or something like that. Look, it looks absolutely fascinating, so I was super excited for that one. The next one, Coloma New Prospects. Coloma's in my top 20 games of all time. Love me some Coloma, and this is going to add more to it. The way the designer mentioned, he said this makes it more of a gamer's game, so I was pretty damn pumped for some new prospects there. Next up, Chain Magnate. Now, Chain Magnate, heavy splotter game, absolutely crazy hard to get. So when I heard it's going on to crowdfunding, I was absolutely super excited, and we may talk about this a little bit more a bit later on. And then finally, Perseverance Castaway Chronicles 3 and 4. Now, Mind Clash games, I've got 1 and 2, so the completionist just wants 3 and 4, and I was so intrigued to see where they were going to take this. Now, each one of those episodes is a whole standalone game. It's a fascinating concept, and I couldn't wait to see what was going to be happening with these dinosaurs in our big city that we're building. Anyway, supposedly you're getting off the island, so that's kind of cool. Anyway, that was my most 4 anticipated games. So let's see if any of them are going to get some awards this year. So firstly, let's talk about games that I'm wary of. You know, games that I would normally back, but then I stopped myself. And the first one was Inventions Evolutions of Ideas by Vital Lacerda. Now, I've got everything Vital. I even like Mercado de Lisboa, and no one liked that game, so I must be a fanboy. But when I played Weather Machine, I went, ew. It just didn't work for me, it didn't gel for me. It wasn't as good as these other games. So I went, you know what, let's pump those brakes, let's save some money for now, and let's actually wait for the reviews to come out, and we'll, maybe we'll get Inventions later on. Next one, Command of Nature, the team who brought us Unstable Unicorns and Here to Slay. Now, I went and backed Casting Shadows because of all the beautiful creatures and the great artwork, and the game was rubbish. Go check out my top 5 things I hate about Casting Shadows. It was a real stinker. Anyway, Command of Nature, have a look at that beautiful art cover there. That's what they do well. They do art absolutely amazing, but the gameplay, there's no way I am spending all that money on there, but it doesn't matter because millions of other people are, well, not millions, but anyway, they got millions of dollars out of their campaigns. So they were the 2 games I was most wary of going into this year. Now the next one, let's have a look what the next one is. It is going to be my biggest surprise for 2023. And this is the runner-up, and this is The Witcher Path of Destiny. Now, The Witcher Old World, absolutely fascinated by that game. Looked amazing. And then this one came along, and I didn't know anything about it. It just dropped, and look, it raised millions. It looks amazing. Look, Witcher, I love the IP. Look, give me some more Witcher. So The Witcher, this was my runner-up of the biggest surprise of the year. But the biggest surprise for me was these 4 small box games. We have Chomp, we have Couture, Mindspace, and Sail. Now, I looked at this campaign, I looked at these 4 boxes, and I was interested. It wasn't until afterwards that I actually got to play all 4 of them, and they're all absolute crackers of games. So this campaign was a big surprise. Now, unfortunately, I didn't back it at the time, but I've now since got some of those games, and I am so happy I have them in my collection. So biggest surprise of 2023. So let's have a look now. I guess what are we going to say? The biggest disappointment of 2023. And the first one we have is Dceased, a Zombicide game. Now, Marvel Zombies, everyone wanted it, millions and millions of dollars. Everyone wanted some Marvel Zombicide. But then they got the postage bill, and you pretty much need to get a second mortgage to pay for it. So when they released their next Zombicide game, I'm like, come on, Simon, you're not even trying anymore. So let's just replace Marvel with DC characters, and we got the exact same stinking stuff with probably a ridiculous amount of postage again. So I'm just like, it's too much. It's too much minis, too much everything, just too much. So it was a really big disappointment for me, but it wasn't the biggest disappointment of 2023. The biggest disappointment was, here we go, Chain Magnate. I mentioned before how anticipated I was for this game, how much I wanted this game in my collection, and then this dropped. It looks pretty. I like the artwork. I don't like the price. 300 euros. That equates to $500 Australian, and that is even before postage. I think with postage, it's going to be about $600, and that is insane. That is bonkers, and that is enough. I'm just not going to accept this anymore. Like, I don't care about your minis. I don't care anymore. I just don't want board games to get that expensive. That is ridiculous. Something I was so looking forward to, and something I just feel so flat. Plus, also, it's the exact same gameplay. Nothing's changed. Would be nice to have some tweaks and stuff. Anyway, biggest disappointment of 2023. Now we're halfway through the awards ceremony, and look, I'm pretty damn pumped for this next one. This next game is actually going to win 2 bangers awards. Firstly, best artwork, my favorite artwork of any game on Kickstarter or Gamefound for 2023. And secondly, the up and coming publisher. And the game is Nestlings. Now, Nestlings by Tangerine Games. Look, I was so excited when I saw this drop. Look, the artwork is pristine. The idea of it, it's a dice placement game where you're basically a bird and you're looking after your nestlings and you've got to put all these dice in different biomes. Absolutely amazing, absolutely drop dead, bloody brilliant stuff. Nestlings wins 2 bangers awards. Next one is the games that I actually received for 2023, and the runner-up for this is Septima. Now, Mind Clash games, again, love me some Mind Clash. Now, normally super heavy games. This is probably medium weight. Witches, it looks beautiful. Love the box. Loved it when I got the game out. I was so excited. Septima, this was my second favorite crowdfunding game that turned up in 2023. But my favorite was Sleeping Gods Distant Skies. Now, Sleeping Gods, my #1 board game of all time. So, of course, I'm all in on Distant Skies, and I'm going to save a lot of my comments because I'm about to do a review video on it, doing something on it. Look, I can't wait to get it out to you, the audience. So there we go. Sleeping Gods, Distant Skies, my favorite crowdfunding game that actually turned up in 2023. Now, from games that turned up to game that hasn't turned up, it's not that late, but it's my biggest, I guess, I need it to turn up game. I don't know what I'm going to call this category, but Unconscious Mind. I think it was a 2022 crowdfunding game. I want this now. This is probably the game I so want more than any other game in my collection right now. Hasn't turned up yet. I know it's a little bit late, like every other Kickstarter and Gamefound game. They're all late, but just this is my #1. This is what I want to play. So hurry up, get us Unconscious Mind, and I'll be a happy little Vegemite. Now let's move on from that, and let's actually go to, I guess, the proper bangers awards. And the first one is going to be my favorite crowdfunding expansion. And look, we touched on it before, Coloma New Prospects. Look, there was a lot of good expansions out there, but this is the one that intrigued me the most. It's going to add the waterfalls. It's going to add a new buster onto the rondel, like new cards, just everything new that I want. I just want more Coloma, and it gave me more Coloma. So best expansion of the year. The next award is my best follow-up. So a game that basically is sort of similar to another one, but it's a new version or something like that. Anyway, my best follow-up here is Canopy Evergreen. Now, Canopy, absolute cracker of a small box. If you do not have this in your collection, try and get yourself some Canopy. I really rate this highly. And Canopy Evergreen is pretty much just Canopy with a few little tweaks, and it's just a nicer looking version of it. So it's going to give you the exact same vibes as Canopy. If you don't have Canopy, get Evergreen because that just looks absolutely amazing. And that was my favorite follow-up for 2023. Now, the last 2 awards were my runner-up and my favorite campaigns. Now, obviously, I haven't played these games, but these are the campaigns that gave me the best feels, gave me the best vibes, made me all feeling all jubbly wobbly, you know. Look, runner-up, let's get straight into it. And we've got Creature Caravan. Ryan Lockett, the man is amazing and he makes amazing games, and Creature Caravan is the latest game in his universe there. And he's also got a new version of Oldbound, which is a bit hard to get, and it's also going to be an RPG. And the RPG absolutely fascinated me there, World of Arzeum. Now, his universe, the way he storytells in his games is second to none. And so I absolutely, when this dropped, I didn't know it was dropping, and I feel bad for not knowing it was going to drop. Then when it dropped, just fell in love all over again. It reminded me how much I love his games, and there we go. So that was my runner-up. So what actually beat that? My favorite game of the year that launched on crowdfunding is Critter Kitchen. Critter Kitchen, the follow-up to Flamecraft. Now, we have cute animals cooking food. They're chefs, and it's just an amazing campaign. I followed this for ages. I jumped on the Facebook page. They were doing a whole bunch of, I guess, like cooking challenges, puzzles. They actually had some proper chefs doing some stuff. Absolutely love this artwork by Sandhara Tang, everything about it. Critter Kitchen. I'm 100% sold. This is how I felt about Maple Valley a year ago. Like, I was so in love with Maple Valley, and now I'm so in love with Critter Kitchen, and I cannot wait for this to arrive because it is going to sit pride in place next to Flamecraft. Oh, look, it was a good year. Look, as you can see, there's some absolute amazing games out there. Let me know in the comments below, what was your favorite crowdfunding game for the year? Can't wait to see those comments because there were some amazing games that I obviously left off my list. But tell me, what is going to be your Bangers Award for 2023? Anyway, till next time, I'm Hogs. This is the Bangers Project. Laters.